Hey, what's up guys? It's Foryam again, back with a new quick video for V Rising. This is gonna be your ultimate guide to trading. I'm gonna talk about pretty much everything you need to know about it, from increasing your silver resistance to farming silver, where you can find and track down the traders or merchants, and of course also to interact with them, because with your silver you can get your hands on some very sweet looking gear and precious items. So let's get right to it. Alright, so first off, you might have already encountered Gavin the Shady Dealer in the Farbane Woods or Burke the Wandering Trader in the Dunley Fieldlands. There's another one in the Silverlight Hills, but first we want to prepare ourselves before we can actually interact with them, and of course you also need the currency, which is silver, before you can even purchase anything. So let's start with the preparation. Before you hunt for them, we're gonna need silver coins, and if you just started in the Farbane Woods, this might be a little bit more difficult than you first thought, because you're gonna need silver resistance, because otherwise the silver is gonna deal damage to you over time, which is not very nice. It's gonna be pretty difficult to get your silver resistance up in the Farbane Woods, but basically if you've created a tailoring bench, then you can get your hands on a hunter's cloak. This one basically gives you increased maximum HP, sun resistance, garlic resistance, but also silver resistance, which allows you to walk around with silver without taking any damage. There are different variants of this cape. Basically, I'm currently wearing the Ashfall Crystal Ice Cloak, but you can also find other ones like the Thousand Stitch Cloak and the Hermit Shawl, which I'm definitely gonna make another video for. Anyways, there are also silver resistance potions. The first one is a brew, which you can get in the Farbane Woods, but I definitely suggest you to first go for the resistance potion and the cloak, because they will make it so much easier to farm for silver. The next step is of course to gather the silver, and this can be found in the entire region of V Rising. The further you progress, of course, the more you will find, and I was most lucky to get my hands on it in chests. It is a pretty rare resource, so make sure to get that resistance cloak ASAP so you can constantly bring it back to your base without taking any damage. Of course, if you happen to come across one of the traders a little bit earlier, I suggest you to kill them, as they also drop a nice amount of these bad boys. Anyways, once you have your silver, the third thing you're gonna need to do is get your human form. For this, you're gonna have to blood hunt Beatrice the Tailor. Basically, she can be found in the Dawnbreak village, but definitely be careful for her, as she doesn't attack you, but runs around like a crazy woman, alarming the entire village if you decide to kill her. I definitely recommend you to first defeat all the mobs in the village and go for her afterwards, or instead lure her into a house and then kill her as quick as possible. Not only does Beatrice give you the human form, but also the cloak, which we talked about earlier, so if you haven't already crafted that one, well, this basically unlocks it. The human form can be found in your Vampire's Power tab. Just like the red form, the bear form and the wolf form, the human form will pop up exactly right here. If you have the DLC, you will also have Grandma form, which I think makes it even better. When you activate this ability, it will take a little bit of time before you transform into a human. Also, definitely be careful with doing this during the daytime, as it will make you extremely vulnerable, as your movement speed will be limited. And also be careful with casting any spells, using any actions. This also breaks the human form, makes all the humans hostile towards you. So now that you've saved up a little bit of silver, got your hands on silver resistance and also the human form, it is time to track down the traders. The first one is called Gavin the Shady Dealer, and this guy can be found in the entire Farbane Woods, because he's literally wandering around in this area, but I most of the times spotted him in the western part of the map. I'm not really sure if he's always here, but this was just a place where I found him most of the time. What I definitely recommend you to do if you have some trouble finding him is to group up with other people, split up and search all the different roads in different areas, and then call the location if you find him and go there together. What you can also do is gather silver with one person while the other one is searching. I think this is the most efficient way to find him. This time I managed to find Gavin in the western part of the map once again, and he was guarded by some other guys, but as you can see, with the human form you don't get attacked in any way. You can simply trade with the dealer and get your hands on all the sweet loot. This guy sells some pretty interesting swag, like the Pilgrim's Hat and the Necromancer's Mitra, but you should definitely get your hands on the Miner's Mace and the Lumberjack Axe. The Miner's Mace is practically as powerful as the Iron Mace, which you can craft in the next area, while the Lumberjack's axes are almost as good as the Iron Axes. So if you can purchase these bad boys when you're still in the Farbane Woods, boy oh boy, you'll be able to farm resources so much faster. But of course, this trader is also fantastic to get different plant seeds, and they are pretty cheap. So if you have some silver resistance early game, this one is really nice. Next up, we have Berg the Wandering Trader, and this guy can be found all over the Dunley Fieldlands because once again, it's a roaming target. Basically, I found him most of the times right above the Haunted Iron Mine, but also many times around these parts of the Dunley Fieldlands, very close to the Moswick village and also the cotton farm, especially at this little bridge right here and also at this particular road. I am almost certain that you can find this guy in the entire Dunley region, but first try your luck right here because it feels like this is his respawn area. Berg also has some pretty interesting wares, especially even more head swag like the deer head, wolf head and bear head, but this guy also sells many different gems as well as the sunflower seeds. All the items Berg has to offer are a lot more expensive though, so I definitely recommend you to start saving up if you want to get your hands on that epic headgear. Then, last but not least, we have Ottar the Merchant, and this guy can be found in the Silverlight Hills. To be specific, in the Brighthaven Slums, and you should be looking for the house exactly right here, because that will bring you to him. This guy is not a roaming target, so he will always be there. I wasn't able to get to this area just yet on the server which I'm currently playing on, but that is pretty much everything you need to know for all three merchants, how to prepare yourself with silver resistance, get your hands on all the silver, and then of course start trading. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, helps me out big time, so very much appreciate it. And of course, if you're here for the long term, want to see more V-Rising, don't hesitate to subscribe, it is entirely free. I have plenty more guides in the description as well, but of course, if you want to join the server, the information can also be found right there. Now it is 4 AM out, I want to wish you an awesome day. Till next time, peace.